What's up, friends? Your favorite Uncle Filthy filming another video for your entertainment and education, brought to you by my favorite brand in the whole business, Hayabusa fight gear, which is the best. Everybody knows it. The other companies know it too. They just don't want you to know it. Okay? I dare you to buy any of their material, geese, gloves, shoes, anything, and tell me you're not 100% satisfied with it. It's great stuff. And there you are, wanting for you to see more content of me doing stuff. So we're here. And I met this guy, Zach, who's actually a talented singer, so he got that to fall back on if the uke business falls through for him. Okay, so we're going to over today is we're going to do the knot from the Williams guard shoulder pin. Okay, same thing, maybe different approaches. Okay, but I'm going to do it from half guard. Okay, so I'm going to show you some secrets on how to make this a very high percentage move, and some of the counters you might see and how to solve those problems. All right, so we're going to set this up from like a half guard Z guard, and get into position here. Okay. Now from here, when you're doing Z guard, I'm a big believer in never letting him cover your thigh, your knee. So if he was a step further across, I would immediately push clear to get my knee up. And it's because if he traps my bottom leg, he's going to keep me from simply getting up. And I always want to have the freedom to get up should his defense shut down what I'm trying to do. Let's scoot back just a hair. Okay, you didn't say the wrong word. Okay, so from here, you're going to want to be tight with your legs, squeeze. You can cross or not cross. That's kind of something you're going to switch on and off based on what you want to do. And I need to set this up. I want to set it up off an overhook, okay, rather than going straight to the position, okay? Because what can happen sometimes when you go straight to it is he's able to square your hips up, and now he stalls you, and that's a big problem, and it can burn your grips out. So when you use an overhook, you can use your legs to get him stretched out, attack the structure of the man, and then attack the man, okay? Now, from here, sometimes guys will come forward and just put their arm on the mat, but most guys are going to be a little tentative, especially if you're active from your back. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to force the engagement. All right, so I'm going to be nice and crunched, protecting my corners, being tight, and I'm going to go 2-on-1 on the outside wrist. Okay. Now from here, I'm going to let go with my bottom arm, and I'm going to get on my post, and I'm going to do a little rotation so he naturally grabs my hips, and it's pretty common for them to do so. So I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to do a little rotation and bump. And that little bump, they're generally going to catch. Now you're not going to stay here long at all. You're going to quickly switch to that overhook and return back to half guard. But when I do, I'm going to reach and I'm going to cup and roll my wrist over my bottom leg. So from here, as we return, I hook. And now see, I got him really stretched out, that hand's on the mat, that's all good, but I gotta still be tight with my legs here. It's not like he can't pass. Guys do some pretty amazing stuff here. Now, from this position, I got the whizzer, he's off to the side, and what I'm gonna do is my hand's gonna go to that shoulder. And what I'm doing here, I'm gonna be pulling his shoulder down closer to the mat, because I don't want his head to pop up and take away my angle. So I'm gonna hold this down, hip goes out, and now from here, I bring my leg up and I lock my hands. Now you can lock a 3-fingered grip, okay? 3-fingered is good from full guard, but from half guard, you don't really need it so much. Okay, you can just lock a simple gable, S grip, whatever you prefer. Okay, and from here, I'm gonna squeeze my thigh down and I'm gonna drive my elbow towards his feet. So you're not trying to push his head away. This is where a lot of people lose it. Because once you start pushing him away, you'll force him to go omoplata escape, and you can lose it. You're actually going to pressure forward, going down that direction towards his feet, and he'll see the difference. Okay, so if I'm here and I push him away, see how that shoulder is coming out? Okay, versus here, I'm pushing down. You see how that body reaction? Okay, so I'm cranking, keeping that downward pressure, and it's nice and tight. Now, as soon as I do this, what I'm gonna do, my other leg is gonna switch to the outside of his opposite outside leg. Okay, and what that's gonna do, should he try to turn away and like force an omoplata, that lace is gonna limit his motion. Okay, so that's a good move to do. Now from here, I'm gonna crush into him and walk my hand up. Now, the hand position I don't want fingers on the top of the shoulder. I want fingers going over basically trying to hook inside his collarbone here, okay? That way my wrist has a good grip, because if you only got fingers, he'll push through that. So keep that pressure down, walk, 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 and now I got a deep grip here, and it's very tight. I got some control. Now, I can go straight for the technique, lifting the chin, grabbing my shin, grabbing my arm, and squeeze. But he can do a lot of things here. He can stay on his elbow and try to use this hand to block, because yes, he's got a hard whizzer, but he can give me some static here. So what I always want to do is create some form of leverage to create a reaction. And I'm going to invert. Now you can invert by a couple ways. Sometimes you can just simply use your outside bottom leg to push off the mat, and as you do, invert, okay? And when you invert, pick your head up, it's gonna create a better angle for you to get under the chin, and it puts more pressure on his other arm so he can't block. Now, that could be difficult for some guys that have trouble moving, so the other option is to slide your arm and come up. So you're creating some pressure, and then once you do invert, and your hand goes under the chin, shoot your arm through deep, lock, return to the mat, and simply, it's kind of obvious here. I'm going to squeeze and pinch and try to slice his head off at the same time. Okay? So it's very effective, and what's nice about this, there's some good secondaries. Like there is a move the 10th Planet crew was doing called the go-go clinch. I do that as a secondary to this. There's also a triangle and tucked arm bar, some other things that are pretty funky, including some sweeps, okay? So it's really up to you. I've done the whole instructional on it if you're trying to find out more, okay? So by doing that inversion, it gives me a way better angle to get under the chin, creates a lot of whizzing pressure and pain compliance, and his arm is pinned to the mat. Okay, so for me, every time I create the inversion, even though sometimes I could probably get away with going right under. All right, now there is another trick you can do once you're in that Williams guard shoulder pin grip, is you can grab the wrist and push his wrist and get your arm under the chin and let go and switch to the lock. Okay, so let me walk you through all this again. All right, so from here, like I said, if he grabs me and puts his arm on behind me, I'm already in the game. But you know, I know a lot of people struggle with that because guys are pretty smart. Stay tight. 2 on the outside. Slide up. Thump. Force the engagement. Switch back. Reach for that bottom leg as you return. Catch. Okay. Now let's square up a little right there. Okay. Catch right here. Keep that pressure down. Hips out. Leg comes up. Lock. Drive your elbow down and crank. Now from here, switch to the outside leg. Walk, walk, walk. Get a deep grip over that arm. Now it's up to you if you want to push off this foot and invert, or come up to your elbow and invert. It's up to you. So it's from here. If I come up, invert, open that up. See how I can get that space? Slide underneath, hit the finish, and choke. Okay? Now, some criticism of this would be there's a lot of steps. 100% agree. Okay? But there's also not a lot of movement. You know, you're not switching positions. It's not transitional really. It's very controlling. So if you're going to have a technique that has a lot of steps, you're going to want to have a lot of control. All right. So this is actually high percentage for me and the guys I teach it to that get it down. It's not it's very paralyzing when it's done properly, okay? So if you have some problems getting it and guys blocking it, I'll tell you it's probably going to be because, one, your hand that's under your leg is only at the top of the shoulder and versus hooking. If you get hook deep, you're going to have way more power and control. So not just fingers, get to that front where that collarbone is and try to get there. Okay? If he's tucking his chin, you can use this hand to lift under the chin to slide your arm in. Okay? And then the other one is his arm blocking. But once you create that inversion, you're going to see it's much easier to get under the chin, and his arm's going to be drilled to the mat. It's going to be very uncomfortable for him. All right? So the combination of all of it together works nice, and like I said, for me, it's high percentage. I know it's called the Neil knot. That's a joke. That's what it was called. But I just refer to it as a shoulder pin knot. Neil knot's fine. It's embarrassing, which is even funnier. I like busting on myself. Okay? So there's plenty of information out there. Check out Hayabusa Fight Gear, HayabusaFight.com. I guarantee you're going to like the gear. Thanks, Zach. Good luck with the singing. All right? Take care, guys.